Oh, I know him. Oh, yeah, I do know him.
Oh, okay. ¿Quién
Oh,
es?
Sherman Tyson. Yeah, he's on the technology committee.
He's part of the committee.
Yes, he's
He
on
said he was invited and he's an alumni and he wants to be
Yeah.
here. That's great.
You know what? We'll introduce him to like all the individuals. The
community.
One of the
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Brentwood Board of Education Budget Workshop this January 25th. I'd ask everyone to please rise for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So this evening's presentation will be delivered by Ms. Stacy O'Connor, Assistant Superintendent for Finance and Operations, Mr. Miguel Cruz, Director of Facilities, and Ms. Candace Chang, Network and Systems Coordinator. Wanda?
Yes. Good evening, everyone. So
I need a motion. Sorry, Wanda, I apologize. Sorry, everyone. Got overzealous. I need a motion to convene the workshop at 6:35 PM.
Motion.
Motion by Brandon Garcia. I need a second. Second by Julie Burgos. All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Sorry, Wanda.
So good evening, everyone. We have the pleasure tonight, to have Mike Cruz, the Director of Facilities, and also Ms. Candice Cheng, the Coordinator of IT. And they're both going to give us a wonderful presentation, and we will have plenty of visuals so we can see all the amazing things that are happening here in the district. Yes, very nice. So, Mike, or
No, they can take it away. I'm not presenting tonight. I was just going to introduce them, but you did. So thank you. And you guys can flip a coin for who goes first.
I always lose. Good evening. I'd like to, first of all, start off with thanking the Board of Education for allowing me the opportunity to share with you all the pictures, many of the improvements to the district. I'd like to start off with the first slide. More or less a bunch of pictures of our guys, in the process of doing numerous repairs. We also have at the top, we have the excited about graduation. And when I say that, all our guys really, that's the last hurrah, more or less, before summer school begins. So it's definitely a big deal for us as well as to all the families and students. Let's Let's see, I'll go to the next slide. Our table of organizations begins with Jay Brown, the custodial supervisor. He handles 156 custodians. Then we have Michael Adamo. He's the ground supervisor. He works with 12 groundskeepers. I'm happy to present James Conquest. He's our new maintenance supervisor. He deals with the 12 tradesmen we have, the plumbers, electricians, HVAC techs, et cetera. And also the outside contractors. Whenever we have any improvements to the district, sometimes, the projects are too big, so we utilize, outside contractors for that purpose. And then again, we have here, lastly, we have Diana Sorrentino and Sarah Suarez. They're the ones that are actually in charge of B&G. Areas of responsibility are maintenance and cleaning of the district's 25 buildings and grounds, cleanliness of approximately 1,200 classrooms and office spaces, maintenance of 215 acres of property. This includes 132 acres of sports fields and parking lot maintenance. We also do maintenance of 73 district vehicles that service the following departments. That's the grounds crew, the maintenance crew, food service, purchasing, production, IT department, and the school safety, in addition to 19 heavy machinery equipment, large lawn tractors, backhoes, trailers, etc. We're also responsible for ADHERA, the lead and water guidelines, and inspections of our underground storage tanks and septic systems. This slide here, we have parking lot improvements. I wanted to show more or less the start of the renovations of some of our parking lots. This picture doesn't represent all of the parking lots, it just represents a few. I believe so far we've done all of the district's parking lots with the exception of 4. Hopefully we have the funding to complete those. We've got North Middle School, South Middle School, East Middle School, West Middle School, East K, Oak Park, Southeast, Southwest, Loretta Park, North Elementary, just to name a few. Next slide is more or less the completion of those parking lots. I have to say that I enjoy looking at this because it definitely is, it's incredible. We got Hemlock at the top left, North Elementary. I actually put 2 slides in there so that everyone can see the improvements to North Elementary. In the past, we had a lot of issues, with the parent drop-off, the arrivals, dismissals. It was a little hectic in this particular building. So working alongside Mr. Morris, the building principal, we were able to come up with this concept. And actually, he's ecstatic the way that it turned out. Looking forward to doing others as well. Let's see. Next, we have classroom hall ceiling and lighting replacements. Now, pictured here is the Ross, let's see, the ceilings in front of the auditorium. We also have Laurel Park Nurse's Office, Loretta Park Nurse's Office, and East K Gym Hallway. That's just to name a couple of the areas that we completed this past summer. If you notice at the top of each picture, there's no ceiling tiles, there's no lighting. We've replaced all of those, and those are coming up in the next couple of pictures. This is the completed product of the start of those projects. It's what I call the 8 weeks of summer madness. Let's see, we did the math labs, faculty lounges, and nurse's office. Those are just to name a few. These are faculty bathroom renovations that we're starting to accomplish in many of the schools. I know we have quite a bit of these bathrooms throughout the district that need improvement, but this more or less shows a pretty decent picture as to what it entails. Some of these bathrooms have to be abated. That's where they hermetically sealed it, and it's a huge task and actually quite expensive. But in the 2 pictures, you can see the high school men's and ladies' bathrooms that were in dire need of improvements. That's actually right across from the auditorium in Ross. Excuse me. Hallway lighting and stairwell railing replacements. Here we'll see the stairwell railings near 2215 Ross 5 Corners, Di Pietro stairwell. These things were in pretty bad shape. I mean, literally, as the kids were walking down the stairs, the railings would rattle slightly. I mean, definitely not the safest, but these things have been completely redone. And the other two pictures are in the Ross. There you could see the lighting, the ceiling tiles were removed and the lighting replaced. Definitely improves on, the look. The next slide is district-wide office renovations. Pictured here is the payroll renovations, the Sonderling Department Office 1415. That was the first renovation of that particular room. I believe we did this twice. We added 2 offices to this. It was so successful as far as the utilization of space, but they needed more. Let's see, on the bottom, we also have the Ross new office additions on the second floor, 5 corners. And here we have the finished product for payroll office, the transportation office, human resources, and benefits office in administration. We have here more office improvements at East K, the conference room, let's see, the athletics office. All the ceilings there were in really dire need of replacing. The Sonderling Department offices, this is the second renovation that we did in this room. We added 3 additional offices to this. We also have the Sonderling Guidance Office. This was done about two years ago. Sonderling Guidance Office, we added these 3 offices there. And in Ross, we also added 3 offices for new guidance counselors. Again, we have additional offices in the curriculum office, in admin, the new accounting office, and another shot of the payroll office. Pictured on the top left is the Sonderling Senior Cafeteria Lobby. This was space that really wasn't being utilized to the best of its, for the space anyway. We added 3 offices there. That's the top center picture. In addition to the, the security substation monitoring room. That's where we added electrical, and I believe the IT department had installed some monitors for the security. Fencing improvements throughout the district include the high school main entrance, top left. We also did some fencing at Pine Park, South Middle, Hemlock, East Elementary, Oak Park, and also North Elementary. That's replacing all of the fencing that definitely, it just didn't look right. Here we have the gym floor improvements. We've restored 10 of the 11 elementary gym floors and 4 middle schools and both high school gym floors. Both gym floors in the high school were replaced this summer. On the top right, you could see, it gives a good picture as to what it entails when we remove the flooring. We have 2 methods that, to complete this process. The first one is completing rip removal and installation of the floor planks, and the second is the sand the gym floors, paint the lines, and then finish the floors. Again, this is the finished product. As you can see, it's definitely worth the effort and the funds. It looks awesome, definite. More gym floors. Now, like at Pine Park, if you look at the difference in the lighting, in the color, Pine Park looks a little darker. That's only because this picture was taken early in the morning and the lights were off. But it's definitely, they all look like brand new. They look awesome. Next, we have the home economics kitchen cabinet replacements. In each corner, you'll see the finished product. In the center, you'll see the contractors that are installing the cabinets that were purchased for that purpose. In addition to that particular work, we also did the ceilings and the lights. We replaced those with LED full panel lighting. So it definitely improves on not just the brand new furniture, the cabinets, but it also improves on the lighting in the classroom. Next, we have the auditorium floor and stage improvements. Pictured on the left, the top left is West Middle School stage floor replacement. It's incredible what the change. It was dark. It really needed improvement. Next, we have the Sonderling Auditorium rug replacement. That also was in pretty bad shape. It had a lot of stains all over the place. Let me see. And then we have Hemlock Southeast Sonderling stage floor also was replaced. That's the bottom right. Excuse me. Next, we have the music classroom renovations. That took place in Ross Freshman Center and also South Middle. I don't have the before pictures, however, this is definitely a huge improvement of what was there. Next, we have the LED and building signs. Now, the top left picture, that's our guys trenching for electrical, and eventually for network, the IT would be snaking through the futures that go on the ground. It's not a question of just buying the signs and it's ready to go. We have to provide power and network to those new locations. So we have the Sonderling Gym Jumbotron, another one. I'm sure that quite a few guys have already seen those big, when it's all lit up, it looks great. Awesome presentation. And then we have East Middle School, South Middle School. The center picture is South Middle School before the trenching and the sign installation. And the right center one is also the completed. We also have the high school on the bottom left while they were installing it, and you can also see, it lit up. In addition to those signs, we're also doing building signs. That's also a little bit of a time-consuming task, as you can. You can't see the person that's standing there, but they're on a ladder on a roof. It's not a good thing. Next one is middle school science room renovations, flooring, electrical panels, base, and wall cabinets all replaced. As you can see in the picture on the top right, those cabinets definitely should have been replaced a couple of years ago. But on the bottom, you can see the finished product. This was done in West Middle and also North Middle. Those science classrooms look awesome. They really do. Middle school science room ceilings and lighting. In addition to the pictures that I showed in the previous slide, we also did, while they were doing this, we removed the ceilings and also the lighting. That just, we painted the walls just to give it that full renovation look. In the high school and the middle schools, we replaced all of the lockers in all of the middle schools. As you can see in the top left, the top left, you can see that there's no lockers there. Those were removed, and the newer lockers were installed. The middle school lockers were replaced with larger compartments so that the kids can actually fit their jackets and book bags in there. And in the Ross and Sonderling, that was also accomplished. However, those are full size, lockers for the bigger kids. Improvements to pool lighting and maintenance. Before the improvements on the left, you can see that the lighting was a little much to be desired. On the right bottom, you could see the new and improved pool lighting. Definitely looks awesome. Definitely a need to get done. On the top center, you'll see one of our guys. That's Chris Riolo. He was responsible for the maintenance of that pool. Just wanted to use that as a perspective, as far as how deep that pool is. That it's huge. It's a little deceiving when you're looking at the bottom, right. And then we have Sheldon doing some caulking, to the ceiling, to the floor tiles. Additional space requests for the elementary schools. We provided space in the cafeterias. So that they could store whatever school items they might need. We did that in Loretta Park, Laurel Park, Twin Pines, and Pine Park. I believe we did 2 more in other elementary schools. In the high school, we also did 1609, the art class. If you look at the top left picture, that's what that used to look like. That was converted into the cosmetology class pictured on the right, the 3 pictures. And on the lower left, you could see the adaptive gym flooring. The pads were removed, and we added the new flooring for, I believe, a dance class and multi-purpose gym classes. IT department, East Middle's lower level. In the top left, you'll see that there was a very large storage area there that really wasn't being utilized to its best of its ability, so we cleaned it out at the request of the IT department. They purchased a bunch of tables, special tables for new laptop prep. And on the center picture, you can see where the new laptops, that's where they receive the new laptops, ready to be taken out the box and placed on the tables for, I guess, imaging. And Then we have bus canopy repairs and replacements. Let's see, pictured is East Middle. If you could see the center top picture, that's where they literally took that thing down and replaced all of the metal, which was definitely in need of replacing. Most of those were rotting out at the bottom. Let's see. And we also had work done in Oak Park. We also had work done at Twin Pines. That was actually ripped down as well and redone. Let's see. I didn't include South Middle, East Oak Park, Twin Pines, Loretta Park, and North Elementary. These are the areas that we did bus canopy repairs. Additional improvements are the baseball backstops. Those were removed in all the middle schools. Not all of them, but the ones that the main ones that are used for baseball, those were replaced. We also had district water fountain replacements in all of the elementary schools and the middle schools, a few of them in the middle schools and high school. These were replaced. If you can see the picture on the right, you have the ceramic, very old water fountain, and that was replaced by the stainless steel one on the top right. That also is a water bottle filler. We also have the food service new storage space, little garage in Freshman Center. Definitely a big help for the food service department. Additional improvements were window actuators for better gym ventilation. If you notice in the picture at the top center there, those windows, you can't reach them from the floor, so you need special mechanisms. You know, you press a button and the window automatically opens up, and then at the end of the day, you know, the teacher or the custodian can close the windows just in the event of rain. Actually, in the event of rain, they automatically close if need be. You know, there is a bypass for that. And I also put some doors up there. We've replaced numerous entrance and exit doors throughout the district. I also wanted to highlight the playgrounds, the middle school, and the ninja playgrounds, and also the smaller elementary playgrounds, because I don't believe that really was shown. Most of them are surrounded by the no-climb fence. Definitely an added bonus. Pictured here is the auto shop improvements. The Ross custodial staff assisted teachers with removing auto shop equipment and painting the floors and walls for new updated auto shop equipment. You could see on the at the top what, well, you really can't see what it looked like, but it definitely needed improvement. And on the bottom left and right, you can see what it looks like now. That picture, if I would enlarge a little bit, you'd see one of the auto shop teachers extremely happy. Here we have new vehicle purchases and a garage at Buildings and Grounds. That John Deere, the green vehicle all the way at the top, that's used for all kinds of different projects in addition to snow removal when needed. We also have vehicles on the top right, pickup trucks with plows. We have the new vans for the maintenance guys. Those vans that we currently have are pretty old. Some of them are 2002, 2007, 2008. Definitely in need of replacing. Most of them are rotting out from the bottom. We also have the forklift. I'd like to thank the purchasing department for being able to obtain that, you know, for the guys in the custodial warehouse. It's huge. It's a big help. At least they don't have to, I say, smell all the fumes. The old one was pretty bad. And then on the bottom center, all the way at the bottom there, you can see the new garage, and that's for housing the new equipment. So, you know, like leaving them out in the elements is really not a good thing for longevity. Additional warehouse renovations was Pine Park Warehouse. That was also pretty much very old, as you can see in these pictures. We gutted them out, and on the bottom two pictures you can see what it looks like now. Definitely a huge improvement there. And then here let's see on the top center, that's the last meal, and I'm kidding. We just had most of the guys, you know, they're very comical. I wanted to add that to this particular slide because they represent, you know, the attitude and willingness to, like, you know, do what's needed for, you know, the district. There's a gentleman on that bottom center picture. He's actually standing in front of myself and Jay Brown with Sheldon. He was a custodian here for 50 years, and he recently retired. He didn't want any attention or anything like that. I was trying to push him in that direction, but I thought it was appropriate to add to this slide. 50 years of his life, that's pretty big. Future projects are boilers, locker rooms, additional parking improvements, North Middle School auditorium renovation, middle school gyms sanded, painted this summer, high school main entrance, soffit renovations, people traps and entrances for safety in a few of the buildings. I believe we're starting that this summer. Additional HVAC improvements throughout the district, also playground replacements. Although we purchased a few playgrounds, there are quite a few that need to be removed and replaced with, something, better condition. Also, old schoolhouse is almost completed. We just have a few minor details to take care of, but that's coming up pretty soon. And then cafeteria improvements. And that's about it.
All this couldn't be possible without the support of the board and the community. Thank you for passing our budgets, which allow us to do that. But just some of the funding sources for these projects. We were fortunate enough to get a large amount of money in our federal stimulus funds. That was, after the COVID pandemic. So that allowed us to make many, many HVAC improvements thus far. We have one more summer with those funds, so we have a number of unit ventilators and air circulators and stuff that we'll be changing this summer. Those funds end the end of September, so we have to get that work done quickly. With the federal stimulus funds, we were able to do the kitchens, the Family and Consumer Science kitchens. Mike had pictures of that in his presentation. We're also just starting now the North Middle School auditorium. So it's closed now. They had their final winter concerts. It's closed now, and we have the contractors who got in there this week to start. So that also is a very tight timeline because those funds go away come the summer, the end of the summer, September. So we're working really hard on that, and we're very grateful that the school was able to cooperate with us as well to get it done. It's hard for them to lose their auditorium for the remainder of the school year, but it will be well worth it once we take care of that. We have our capital funds. The past 3 years, we've done transfers to capital. That's in our general fund budget vote. It's not a separate proposition. It's right in the budget, and it goes in a transfer to capital line. So we've done that 3 years in a row, and that's allowing us to do the turf field. That's how we're paying for that. We're going to do locker rooms at Ross this summer. That's how we've done the science rooms last summer, and hopefully some more this summer. We're waiting on state approval on that. And boiler replacement at Ross. We have some more funding sources for projects, and it gets very confusing because there are different rules for different funding sources. So the general fund, that's where Mike does his projects, the ones that we do in-house with our guys, all of the office improvements, and, many others that you saw there. So Mike handles that. Smart Schools Bond is something that's been around forever. We are having a really hard time getting that through not only the state, but the Department of Health locally, because they changed a lot of their rules in terms of septic systems. So they're making us add the new filtration for the septic systems. Even though we're not adding on to the building, we're taking down portables and adding permanent classrooms, we still apply under the new rules. That's the only area, the Department of Health, where we fall under local regulation. Everything else, we don't report to the town of Islip for those building codes. We report to the state education department. So we're getting close on that, but the cost of the septic is very expensive, and it's making us change some of our plans, unfortunately. We just don't have them all down yet. The energy performance contract is something that is nearing completion. That'll end probably the end of the summer or maybe a little bit into the fall. You can see the solar panels that we've added at every school. We've done window installation and a few other projects there that save us energy. So we pay for the work, but we get it back in the savings on the energy, and we also get building gain on it. So it's a win-win project. So just some funding facts. All projects except for the energy performance contract, those solar panels and window insulation, that's kind of going to pay for itself over the years with the savings, like I just said. They're being financed without borrowing. We have not gone out to a bank to borrow money, to pay interest on that, like you would do for a mortgage on your house. We're financing it all with our own funds, so it's no additional cost to the community, because they don't have to pay those interest costs. And we receive building aid on a lot of that, so we're kind of making money on that, and we get aided, the building aid, as if we did borrow money, and as if we're making interest payments. We get aid not only on the project, but on the interest that we're not paying. It's kind of an odd system, but that is how it works, so we're really taking advantage of that, and, it's positive cash flow. I think it's a great thing, and we're getting great things done throughout the district. So Mike will go over his general fund budget.
Okay, so these are the budget highlights, the custodial maintenance and the totals. Go into more detail in the next slide. The 1620, 1630, 30 night differential. This particular code we're asking for a huge increase, and it's due to the fact that it's underfunded at the moment. In all reality, it's due to increase in all of the events. The school district definitely has implemented quite a few events in the schools, and so with those events, that requires a building coverage. And once the building is covered, the event is over, then it requires the staff to do cleaning, and again, that all requires overtime pay. 1622,000, the equipment code. This is actually going down 33.3%, and this is due to items that we purchased in 23-24. Now, we've done pretty good in this particular code, so if you guys feel generous, by all means. 1620-4210, that's insurance. That's going up 19.4%, and that's estimated increases due to current trends. 1620-4641 is fuel oil. That's actually being decreased because we're burning gas instead of oil. It's a lot cheaper, and also we've had some mild weather. Hopefully, my fingers crossed that we continue down that path this winter. Let me see, 1620-4660, building repairs. This is going up 66.6%, and that's to continue with the numerous repairs that we've started. I definitely want to keep that ball rolling. I'm sure that everyone can see, where those funds are going. 1620-4690, natural gas. There's an 18% increase there. Although we are burning gas still, we still need, to heat buildings, and also the kitchens need the gas for cooking, for lunches and all. 1620-4900, that's a BOCES description there. That we need an increase of 20.8%, and that's with all the projects that we're doing. This code covers the environmental consultations, like testing for abatement. Let's see, 1620-5440, electrical supplies. Oh boy, I messed that one up. 1620-5440, electrical supplies, a 20% increase in this particular code, and that's due to all the office renovations. Not just the office renovation, but all the other renovations that we're doing. It seems every time we do any renovation, we need more power. And that's about it. 1621 maintenance. There is a change in, let's see, a 62% drop, and that's a decline. It's due to competing interests with other needs in the district. I was told I had to say that. And that's about it.
But if they want to be generous, you'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot more to
We'll put it to
do.
good use, trust me.
I think this was incredible, really, really, really incredible. Thank you so much to you and to your team. One thing that I was thinking about, I said, what am I going to let Mike know, because I saw this before. I saw that, we met this week. And one thing that I have to say, our students deserve the best. And we often think just about curriculum and instruction, and we don't really take a look at what is really happening behind the scenes. And we're so large, when you have one home, there are so many things that have to get done, right? When you have to do renovations, and it takes a long time. Some of these projects are just completed in 8 weeks during the summer. So thank you for all the work that you and your team do. And I don't know if I ever told you, but my grandfather was a custodian. And all the custodians have a very special place in my heart. And I call them the silent heroes, because you do have to make sure that the classroom is ready for our students. So thank you, and please let them know that we thank you. Very much.
Definitely will.
Mike, I just wanted to ask, is this available on our website so the community can have access to it? Is
They
that
can always
possible?
access it through the YouTube.
Yeah, on YouTube or Facebook, it's available. It's being broadcast now.
Right, but we don't know if we can put it on the website, because I do get asked a lot, like, what are we doing with the money? You know, what's new, what's going on, and I think this was very thorough. And I just also want to say that it's not at the sacrifice of the academic, things that we put in place for our students. These are much needed, repairs and maintenance that thankfully we've been able to do now.
Long overdue, 60
Yes.
years overdue.
I'll say that.
One of
Thank
the
you
other
also.
projects that we didn't mention that we are working on, and we just sent out a survey related to this actually, is our new name and our new mascot. So we're going to have to make all of those changes. We actually put money into this year's budget for that. I don't know if we're going to get around to spending it this year because, we're going through the process of determining what the new name and logo, I should say, would be. We didn't really have a mascot. So we're going to maybe put those into fund balance and then move them into the next year's budget, but that'll be something else that'll be in Mike's area. And if you look anywhere in a building, if you walk in, the feathers,
Yeah, they're
Indians, that's everywhere in our district, and that's going to take a while. We do have time to do that, but we're certainly going to start doing that as soon as we know in which direction we're going.
Okay. Also, I know we didn't have a lot of pictures of the turf fields here, but they're obviously getting done. So could you just give us a quick update in timing in terms of when those will be completed and?
Well, this turf field, the
The one
first, the
closest
soccer
to
field,
us?
that's it.
Is
That
it-
one's completed. However, we still there is quite a bit of work. I believe that right now the architect is working with the contractors. There's still it's in. I won't say it's in its infancy, but we're moving in a pretty decent rate. Hopefully, we get done by November, maybe. I'm not sure, but
The turf itself
Okay.
is down, and that's in.
yeah.
They do still have some other projects to do, but they're waiting for the weather to break, so in the spring. At the January board meeting, you awarded the contract for the bleachers, so we're moving forward with that, getting all the bonds and the insurances and everything together, so they could place that order. There is a long lead time for that, so it'll be a bit before we see the bleachers. We have bleachers on both sides of the field, so, it'll be quite impressive, I think, when I saw the style. It took us a while to decide because there were a couple of different styles and big price differences to select from. So we had to meet with the architects and designers of the bleachers and stuff to make the right decision. We're doing that right now with the scoreboard. We have a couple of proposals that we're going through. We expect to award that hopefully at the February meeting. That also has a long lead time, but I don't think it's quite as long as the bleachers will take. But the field itself is you could go on nobody can go on the
No.
field, but it's ready.
Tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Have a plethora of people out there.
So then the football field will start after this one is completed?
We didn't send that up to the state yet, so we have
Okay.
to see
So it's gonna be a little
funding-wise where
while.
we are, and but that's in the plans as well.
Okay, thank
You
you.
know what, Julie, Ms. Burgos, we are going to provide a facility strategic plan where the board will see all the things that we're doing
Yes,
right now
laid out.
here to ensure that we know what projects we're going to do next, so you're also informed.
Thank
And
you.
the building principals as well.
Thank you. Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, ready? Very nice.
Well, that is an insanely tough act to follow. Honestly, Mike does amazing work. I'm always amazed by what he can do for the district. And I was really amazed at what he did for my area down in IT. That actually has been very instrumental in helping me continue to just work on and just pump out laptops as quickly as we can. So thank you, Mike, for all of that. Okay. All right, welcome everybody in Brentwood community. Thank you to the esteemed board members for having me here to present my budget this year. One thing I definitely really have to be extremely grateful for to this board is the continued support that I see. Last year, I was here giving a presentation about what my vision for properly staffing my department was, and this board granted it to me. And I am so beyond grateful because now I
Maybe we should
have
clap.
a properly sized group.
That's a big deal.
And the people that I hired, they get it. They know that they're here to support the kids. They know that they're here to support teaching and learning every day. And it's been wonderful just seeing the department grow and flourish. And we recently just underwent our first computer-based testing simulation. And it went very well. All the laptops, the internet, everything held up very well. And I'm happy to give credit where credit is due to this board.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right, and because you guys have been so generous to me, my presentation this year is actually blissfully short. So it's nowhere as comprehensive and with as many pretty pictures as Mike has, but hopefully I can explain my budget very well, even with the brevity of it. Okay, all right, just gonna set up here. Oof. There we go. Share screen.
While you do that, can I take a minute to introduce Jeremy Anderson? He's in the audience. He's one of our committee members for the IT Board Advisory Committee. So I just want to welcome Jeremy. If we could give him a hand. He's a Brentwood graduate. He went on to study cybersecurity in college, so we invited him to be on the committee. He's been a big help. So thank you, Jeremy, for coming tonight.
Yes, thank you for your support, Jeremy. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and get right into my budget. The first thing that I want to talk to you about is how our fleet of copiers is doing. So at this point, we have 160 copiers throughout the district, and next year I am looking to replace 31 copiers, which explains the increase in the equipment code for the copiers. Additionally, you're going to see that my copier maintenance code has gone up by quite a bit too. However, please don't worry. It's only because I am replacing 31 copiers that I am going to have parallel purchase orders, and I would have to be able to encumber some of the funds, but I fully don't expect to spend all of it. If I have to estimate my expenditures for next year in terms of our copier maintenance, it's only going to be about $400,000. Okay? Overall, we are seeing a slight increase of copies being made, but overall nothing that we can't handle. Okay. And then moving on to the rest of the 1680 series. Overall, my 1680 series is going up 16.29%. And you can see that the majority of that increase is actually coming from A1680 4000, where it's going up by 1.5 million. The reason why it's going up by 1.5 million is that I'm allocating approximately 1.1 million to replace the fire alarm system in the high school. It's definitely a system that we are currently maintaining, and we're maintaining it as well as we can. But we are starting to see parts not become unavailable, and the fire alarms are going off a little bit more often, so it is definitely time to go ahead and replace that. I will also be talking about a project later on in the slides that's also included within this increase. The other significant area of note of increase is going to be A1680 4900, and that is because this is where I have put all my laptop repairs. So you're actually going to see a decrease in the corresponding budget code because I was able to push all those laptop repairs to BOCES, where I actually wind up getting 8 on it. So it's not costing us an absorbent amount of money to repair our laptops. Okay. And moving on to my A2630 series. This particular budget code is used by the business office to track computer hardware and software because we do get aid on those things. So by putting all my expenditures here, it makes Eric's job a little easier when he runs those ST3 reports at the end of the year. you can see a very significant increase in computer hardware. It's actually going up 1.8 million. So this is where I put my usual yearly batch of 6,100 laptops. But this year, I also have a unique expense in that I am looking to replace 2,000 desktop computers next year because they are not going to be Windows 11 compatible. I read an article where it basically, experts are saying that we're probably going to see 219 million tons of e-waste related to Windows upgrades alone. And we will be contributing to part of that e-waste by replacing those 2,000 desktops. Okay? For software, you see it has gone up a little. This budget code actually would have gone down, except that we're ending a 3-year agreement with Rosetta Stone. And right now we have the instructional committees looking for a replacement product for Rosetta Stone. But in the meantime, I've held $500,000 into this budget code for whatever the replacement product could be. And as promised, you're going to see A2630, 4650, 43, which is computer hardware repair, just completely zero out because we shifted all of that to BOCES. So I'm happy to find a way to save us some money there. Okay. So with your support of last year's budgets, I was actually able to get a lot accomplished this year. Because you gave me increased staff, I have increased support in all buildings, and it's been going very well. Ticket times have decreased, and overall, the staff is feeling very supported. We implemented a daily loaner program, so on the bottom left, you see a picture of one of our daily loaner carts. This is going on in most of the schools. So if a student has a laptop that's in for repair, or if a student forgot the laptop for the day, they're able to just borrow one from us so that teaching and learning can continue without any interruptions. We replaced over 1,000 desktops. I believe the high school liaisons spoke about it early this September, where they said that we replaced the entire computer lab. We replaced more than the entire computer labs in the high school. We actually replaced most of the desktops on the secondary level, and it worked out to be about 1,000. We've replaced 468 printers that are end of life, meaning that Xerox is no longer going to support them. They were also costing us a little bit more per print, so it was just a good business decision to replace those. We replaced 19 copiers last year. We did our usual refresh of laptops by changing out the old laptops and giving them new laptops in grades 3, 7, and 10. We were able to expand some more laptops into kindergarten this year, and that's an ongoing project of ours. We will continue to try to get more laptops into kindergarten. We were able to put a charting solution into all elementary classrooms. So this picture on the right here in the middle, that is a JAR Systems Adapt 4 solution. And what it is it's like a little briefcase, and it comes with 4 batteries. So if a student brings in a laptop that's not charged, they can just take a battery from this bay, and they can use the battery at their desk, and they can continue to use their laptop as their laptop's charged, which is teachers love it because then they don't have to wait for a child's laptop to charge to be able to use it. And we replaced 65 network switches. So the network switches are the ones where we're plugging in our Wi-Fi access points, we're plugging in our printers, we're plugging in our computers through it. We had 65 of some really old models that we were able to replace this year through E-Rate. So that's what the blue wires up here in that top middle thing is. It's kind of hard to see, but it's a very important part of the network. Okay? And with your support for next year's budget, these are the projects that I'm hoping to accomplish next year. So I would like to replace another 280 printers that are also coming to end of life. As I mentioned, I am replacing 31 copiers. We will continue with our laptop refresh cycle, which is a huge project for us every year. We're replacing nearly 2,000 desktops. We're replacing an additional 54 switches so that our network backbone can be as up-to-date as possible. And a special project that we're trying to do is we're also trying to expand on our redundancy for our network operations center. So right now we have a network operations center that has like all these switches and all the servers and all this wiring and massive air conditioner. And what it does is it drives the backbone for the internet, it drives all our file shares, And what we want to do is we want to be able to have a secondary place in the high school built to mirror everything that we're doing in this building, so that in the case of anything happening here, the hope is that we'll be able to switch over to high school with very little downtime. But overall, it is a worthwhile investment for our future, just to make sure that we have as much computer uptime as possible. Okay? And at this time, if there's any questions, I will be welcome to answer anything that the Board of Ed might have questions on.
Well, we see you've been hard at work, keeping us up to date and our systems a-go so that we can provide services to our staff and our students and aid Mr. Cruz in his quest throughout the district, right? Because if we don't have electricity and we don't have our laptops, our students can't learn. We use it for everything, right? Even our cell phones. If we don't have any connectivity in the district, we're all kind of at a standstill in this day and age. So, serves for a great source of communication district-wide for everyone. So we thank you and applaud you for your efforts.
Thank you
And
very
please let
much.
your staff know that we are thrilled with all the work you've been doing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Candice. As you know, I always, each time that I call you, it doesn't matter what time, you're always available. She was very sick last week. She couldn't come to work, but she had the laptop right on her bed working to ensure that everything was running smoothly. So I thank you for that and your staff as well. One thing that I'm very grateful also is, the high school never sleeps, but I know that you and Mike do not sleep either. So thank you for that, because, this is 24 hours. This is a work that happens. So the other day when we had the snow also, you were up at 3 o'clock in the morning doing the rounds, going around to ensure that we were here also. And you had to make sure that the phones were working also. So IT sometimes is not just about computers. We always think IT is computers. It goes beyond that. Your department works with phones. You have to make sure that all the infrastructure for technology is ready. You make sure that that is done. Software, training for teachers that had to do with how to use their own laptop. So thank you so much. Thank you to your staff too. And please know that your work doesn't go unnoticed.
Thank you so much.
Okay, no, that's it.
Do you have any questions, comments from the community on the workshop? No? Okay. I need a motion to adjourn the workshop at 7:23 PM.
Motion.
Motion by Julia Burgos. I need a second.
Second.
Second by Maria Malave. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so moved. Have a good night, everyone, and we hope to see you on February 15th for our public meeting, but we have
Next
February
week.
1st, right?
The
We have
first,
another,
the first.
another budget meeting on February 1st. Hope to see you all then.
Thank you. So Eileen, I sent you an email with the options, because we have to add